Hey everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing the Corset Making course by Scarlett Sapsford. This is the course that is found at corsettraining.net. 5 years ago, Scarlett had released her first corset making manual, which I actually purchased probably sometime in 2012, but I ended up losing that material and everything else when my laptop died, so I never actually had the chance to review the course. Fortunately, Scarlett completely reworked her instructional materials and re-released the course this year better than ever. So now it comes as a 3-piece kit for $49.99, and I think that is in US dollars. So the first piece that you get is a 2-hour-long instructional video, which you should absolutely watch first, especially as a beginner. It's in MP4 format, so it plays on both PC and Mac devices. And the second part of this corset making course is this PDF book, and this is more of an abbreviated corset making manual, which is designed for you to refer to at a glance while you're sewing, just in case you need to have your memory jogged about a certain step in the corset making process. Seriously though, you should watch this video first before you refer to the corset making manual because it will make much more sense. And the third part is this corset pattern compendium that you see right here. And this contains 11 patterns. So if I just scroll down here, you can see the 11 patterns here. And it contains both modern and historic designs, and this is also in PDF format. But starting with this video, there is a table of contents right at the very start with timestamps for each section, which, as you all know, I'm personally a fan of. So if you're looking for something really quickly, or you want to watch one part again, if you're not solid on the technique or the construction, you can quickly refer to this section. So to choose whatever section you need, you basically just scroll through or click on any basic part that you might need to refer to. And you can see here that the video quality is good, the camera is in focus, the lighting's good, the angles give you a clear view of what she's doing in each step, and some sections are actually so close it's almost like macro film, but you can actually see the weave of the fabric and every stitch. But you know, that is actually quite useful. You know, as a beginner, that is something I would appreciate. Scarlett starts by showing you all the materials that you need to make the corset, which is always good to know, so you have everything before you start. That way you're not caught off guard and you have to, you know, stop and order some other part or materials, because I know that if I have to wait a couple of weeks for materials to be delivered, it seriously throws off my sewing groove and it's hard to get back into it. And here Scarlett shows some of the fabrics that can be used for corsets. Some styles are more suitable than others, some of them are more heavyweight, some other ones might need special treatment like fusing before it's actually suitable to use in a corset. In this next part, Scarlett shows you how to lay out your corset pattern, how to trace and cut them out, and again she's incredibly thorough, and she shows you the different tools you can use for marking the fabric. She stresses the importance of things like seam allowances, marking your notches to match up each pattern piece later, and also marking each pattern number and orientation so that you don't get them mixed up later. And if you want to try your hand at pattern matching or print matching, she actually shows you how a little bit later in the video. It's less detailed than the technique that was shared on Foundations Revealed. It's a little bit more of an intuitive method, I guess. But I tried this technique on my own, silver overbust, and as you can see, it actually turned out pretty well. And you know, when I actually sat down and, you know, watched this video and saw how she did it and, you know, tried it myself, I realized that it's not that complicated and it's not that intimidating. It's not as difficult as you might think. So I'm going to jump ahead in the video by a little bit, and the order in which Scarlett makes her corsets and show you how to make a corset, it's a little bit different to how I normally make mine. Some of the techniques are different, so I actually tried out her method mostly just to give myself more of a challenge. And the first thing she does is install the busk and anchor the waist tape, whereas I normally do those a little bit later on. But the benefits of doing these steps first is that it doesn't even give you the opportunity to, say, forget to add a waist tape later on, because it's already there for you. So that's one definite benefit about this. One of the most foreign steps of creating a corset is inserting the busk, and even experienced sewers, if they've never made a corset before, they might not know how to approach this. So Scarlett's instructions for inserting a busk is extremely detailed. She spends a good probably quarter of the video giving close-ups of every single step how to insert a busk, so it's really simple for a beginner. And once you're experienced in inserting busks, you'll realize that it takes you less than 30 minutes to insert both sides. After the first panels are done, she then focuses on assembling the rest of the corset, and she gives a very good explanation of both the lock stitching technique and also the top stitching technique, both how to do these and the rationale behind them. And she makes each step really easy, even for a beginner who's never even taken a sewing class before. So sometimes if you have an online sewing course, more experienced sewers will neglect to tell you things like press your seams or clip your seam allowances, because they already assume that you already know how to do this. But Scarlett leaves no stone unturned in this respect. So you can see in this clip here, she's actually telling you and showing you exactly how to trim your seam allowances. And she even gives you some tips for, say, sealing the edges of your fabric, of your panels, if you're working in a brocade, so that, you know, fraying is minimized as much as possible. Now, near the end of the video, when putting on the binding, when it comes to any part of making a corset, I personally find putting on the binding to be the most annoying, especially when working with floating layers. It's not particularly difficult, and you know, it doesn't take very long to do, but it's basically fiddly work. It can take a fair amount of smoothing and manipulating of the fabric in a not totally structured way, but the way Scarlett shows you how to do this in the video, you come to see that it's actually okay. You just, you know, keep shifting and manipulating the fabric until it lines up the way that you want. So I found this actually really comforting. And she also describes two different ways of finishing the binding, either by hand finishing or by machine. So that was the 2-hour-long corset making instructional video, and now I'm going to show you this PDF, this corset making manual here. So this PDF guide, if I just scroll down to the table of contents, it gives you a shopping list of materials and tools that you need, as well as which stores to find them. It also tells you what a mock-up or a toile is, how to make one, how to actually fit and manipulate one if it doesn't fit properly, and this was a step that I actually skipped over for my silver over bust, which is why the bust ended up being a little bit small, but yeah, that step is important. And once again, she shows you basically the same steps as she shows you in the video. It's just, you know, this is for a quick reference after you've already watched the video, so that you don't have to go back and scroll in the video if you need to remember something again. And she also shows you how to make this special embroidered floating back modesty panel. As well, she shows you how to actually floss boning channels, and the way that she shows you is really simple, once again step by step, and she shows you how to make them look as neat and tidy as possible. And the third and last part is the corset pattern compendium. So like I said before, there are 11 patterns included in this, and the first one is the corset training plunge, which is the same corset that she made in the video, and so she gives you this exact same pattern, and this is also the one that I ended up making my Sapsford silver overbust in my last case study. There are also 7 other corsets in the modern collection and 3 more corsets in the historic collection. So once again, she shows you the types of materials that you'll need to make a pattern. She links to a video here, how to rescale her patterns. You can either choose to blow up the patterns in a photo editing software, or you can buy graph paper where the squares are 1 centimeter wide, and you can use the grid to draw out the pattern in life size, which she shows you how to do in her YouTube video. You can also see here that she shows you how to take your own measurements and resize the pattern so it actually matches the proportions that you need. And she also provides diagrams for how to manipulate the pattern. So these are the 7 corsets that are included in her modern collection, and these are the corset patterns in her historic collection. Now, say you're having a lot of trouble with rescaling or changing the sizes of the patterns, or, you know, say it's your least favorite part and you can't be bothered to do it, then on Scarlett's website you can actually purchase ready-made patterns that are already scaled, and all you have to do is just print and cut out the size that you already need. But do be aware that this is a separate purchase. And because Elizabethan bodices are a little bit different to, say, Victorian corsetry, she actually has a different course specifically on how to make that. So that's basically a synopsis of the entire course, the pattern compendium and the PDF manual here, as well as this 2-hour-long video. So all in all, I think this course is a great resource for beginners and hugely improved from the first version from 5 years ago. Even though I've been making corsets for years, I still learned quite a few techniques from this course that I didn't know before. And I think also the free patterns add to the value of this course. And I know that $50 it can be quite a lot for you to drop if you have never made a corset before, or you don't understand the value of corsets. But when you think about it, as I mentioned in one of my really old videos, should you buy a corset or make one, if you can learn how to make really nice corsets for $50, that could potentially save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars by buying corsets that might not, fit you the best because they're off the rack, or if it just wasn't what you expected. So this is an investment that pays for itself in the long run, I believe. And you know what, if you find the course too difficult or confusing and you're not able to actually complete a corset using these materials, Scarlett actually has a money-back guarantee. So if you'd like to learn more about the course or the money-back guarantee or anything else, I will have a link in the description below that will take you to Scarlett's corset making course, where you can read more about it, or you can contact Scarlett herself if you have any specific questions. And if you have already tried this updated course, then let us know in a comment below what you thought of it, how you liked it, and I guess that's it. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!